Welcome to part 8 of Armchair Chat. The harpazo, rapturous, catching away, edition, October 29th, 2023. Oh, by the way, you hear how I'm roaring like a lion? Yeah. Well, that's as an example to you, gentlemen. You're supposed to be roaring out God's word. How you going to break anything off these demonic people and break their bondage, break them out of their bondage with a feather? You're not going to. Sugar's not the magic cure. Sugar coating things and just poofing some powdered sugar on them ain't going to make their shackles release them from bondage. It's not going to take and cut loose the fetters of sin that they have about them. The truth shall set you free. You shall know the truth, and it shall set you free. And no, we haven't got into those particular verses yet that I'm headed toward in this particular chapter, but the Lord said to do this whole chapter, so I'm doing this whole chapter. So, this is Luke 21. And now, let's go back into this. Now, see, the church has already been through some stuff, right? We have been persecuted, done already over here, as we have learned. These people have come against us. But now we're going to jump over here into verse 25. There are references. Do read those references. They help support what this says. Witness of two. Anyways, getting back into this. And there shall be signs in the sun, solar flares, as they call them, and in the moon. The moon has changed colors and done push-ups and different things. I'm kidding. The moon has changed and been blood red at times. We have seen signs in the moon. We have seen changes in the sun. And in the stars. And upon the earth, distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves roaring. Now, if you have not noticed these things, sleep on sleeper, because clearly your night towel or whatever is working really great. Your drunkenness has got you passed out, so you just stay right in that state, because you're not going home with Jesus as long as you like that. Because if you don't see the distress of nations right now, you are beyond blind. You got the thickest blinders ever did I see. Where'd you buy them at? Them will come in handy for sunny day sleeping. Now, here's a real good part. Men's hearts failing them for fear, for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. Didn't say from the thing coming on the earth, but for the fear thereof. Men's heart are failing them. They're having heart attacks and things. They're just dropping dead. They can't take it. And if you're fearing that you're going to die of some kinds of cancers and whatnot like that, guess what? And you run to them little white coats and they poke you, their little test is going to show you whatever your mind wants it to show you. Yeah, it's going to be there. Because God said He would bring your fears upon you. You should be trusting Him and not them. That's what happens when you lean to the arm of flesh. Those of you in that profession, I recommend you find a different profession. If you're supposed to be God's children instead of witchcraft. No, I'm not going to change what I'm calling it. I call it as I see it. That is what God has taught me, and that is what I will continue to call it. You mix herbs and things together, that's what you are. You're an alchemist. You're a witch. And if you prescribe these things, you are the same as you're partaking of the alchemist's sins. Now, getting on into this, your recommendation should be to go to God, to the elders of the church. That's what you should be doing. If you are of the Lord. And then they, jumping ahead too far. But men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, with power and great glory. It tells us this in the book of Revelations too. He cometh in the clouds. It tells us that in the book of Daniel. He cometh in the clouds. Why? Because He said, in like manner you see me leave. You ever think when it comes a cloudy day, there's Jesus. This could be the day. I do every time I see clouds nowadays. In fact, I'm looking and I'm like, Lord, is it time? Is it time? Is it time? Can I get out of this crazy world? Gotta have a little humor, folks. Gotta have a little humor. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And let me tell you, great is His glory. I have seen a portion of His majesty. And He covered my eyes so that it would not blind me with His hand. But I at least got to see His hand and the 7 stars. It's not something you soon forget when you see any portion of the Lord. I'll tell you that. My heart was so overwhelmed. And awe. I was just at awe. I didn't want to leave that particular moment ever. I was in His hands in that moment. And I was completely satisfied. But we got work to do. So, here we are. And when these things begin, forgot. Rapturous verse, people. Warning, 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 warning. Rapture verse, rapture verse, rapture verse. You may want to adjust your sets for this one. Get your black marker and get ready to go into your Luke chapter 21 and mark out verse 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads. Why did he have to tell us to lift up our heads? Because you're downtrodden. With all the things that are happening, you're going to be downtrodden. He knew you was going to be downtrodden. He knew you was going to be heartbroken. You was going to be busted asunder. So he says, lift up your heads. In other words, be merry. Be jubilant. Why? For your redemption draweth nigh. Now let's look at this. When did he say? And when these things begin, not in the middle. Now, for you mid-tribbers, you think we're going to go up mid-tribulation. No, that's not for you. If you are not 144, don't get it mixed up. That's not you. If you are not the rapture saints, or the, sorry, wrong ones. If you are not the tribulation saints, in the 144, this is not you. You are not a mid-tribber. You are not a mid-tribber. But when these things begin to come to pass. So if you're post-trib, I got a couple questions for you right here, right now. Listen to me. Turn on your ears. Get your nades on. For you post-tribbers who thinks that we're not going up until after the end of the millennial reign with Christ, why? Why are we going up then? Everything's over by then. It's the end of the fireworks by then. We're done. Why would we go up then? Ain't no need to go get a horse then. The battle's over. Everything's done. Why would we need to go up at the end of the millennial reign with Christ? Because we can't come back with him because he's already come. There ain't going to be no three comings of the Lord. Y'all kill me. No, the Lord comes back for the millennial reign. That's when he touches down. The harpazo, the catching away, he just meets us. We go to meet him in the air. He don't come down here. We go up there. Now, I've been showing it to you, these things. And when does it occur? And when these things begin to come to pass. Not at the end. When they begin. Jesus said this. You want to take this out the book? You deal with him about it. Don't tell me about it. But don't try to take it from me neither. Because I'm not taking it out of my book. I'm going to keep it. Look up and lift up your heads. For your redemption draweth nigh. There are some references there. I'll try to give you a moment as I read on. Let me zoom in just a little bit in case y'all really need a close-up look at that. Verse 29, and he spake to them a parable. Now pay attention, because this is getting good. Now here comes a parable. I love parables. Behold the fig tree and all the trees. Now, you got to understand who the fig tree is. That would be Israel. Israel is a fig tree, for those of you that don't know this. And all the other trees are the other nations. That's not meaning actually go find you a fig tree and stare at it until it turns purple and does tricks and cartwheels and all that. No, it's meaning watch the nation of Israel. Behold the nation of Israel, which became a nation when? In 1948. It's 75 years old. My dad was born in 1948. He's 75 years old. And what does the Bible tell us about the age of a man? That it is 70, but 80. You know, if you find favor with the Lord, you get a few extra, right? See you in the next part.